Whoa, I'm hoping for that. Would you please let Darcy know that the mics are on?
Darcy, the mic's on. Mic's on.
Thank you. Let me know, sir. Oh, we're good, thank you. I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Saline Board of Education, May 20th, 2025. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so standing as you're able. And tonight, Brad Gerby is going to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Tonight, I want to just welcome Carol Diglio is here on behalf of the staff of the district. Thank you very much for coming this evening to answer any questions that could arise. And seeing as there are no members of the public here, we will go right on to approval of the agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as printed. That would be Tim Austin is making the motion.
Support.
That would be Lauren Gold.
Yes.
As seconded, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have an agenda. Thank you. And we have a full quorum as well. I was looking at a board meeting the other night, and they all did a quorum voice call, at the beginning and did the agenda even earlier. Anyway, action items tonight. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the superintendent contract and compensation package for Dr. Rachel Kowalski as recommended by the compensation committee. Do I have a motion? Probably someone from the compensation committee.
So moved, Stebbin.
Support Tizides.
Wow, I was correct. Okay, so let's have a quick discussion. First of all, I also, if I could just kick it off by saying thank you very much for all of the heavy lifting on behalf of the board members, the compensation committee who worked at revising this contract as existed, and for all of the great deal of help that Carol Diglio has provided for the HR department. So Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you and or Jennifer. Or Brad.
Jason, why don't you go ahead since you took this last round?
Okay, pretty straightforward. Nothing substantive changed from the original draft, just reformatted and put in the recitals and the definitions so that we could be consistent throughout the contract. The only, I believe, item that we wanted to discuss was Section 4, the extent of services per request from Dr. Kowalski to continue her contract work with MASA in order to continue to teach classes for superintendent preparatory classes. Sorry, said that, I guess, out of order. Preparatory. So that is, I think, the only item, unless anybody else has any other items to look at, but we wanted to discuss the limiting language in that particular section.
Yeah, this is where I would ask Carol to come up because I think you had that direct conversation with Rachel to better understand exactly what the time commitment is with that obligation right now, and I think the I don't want to say the pause, but the seeking of more information was just because we know how big this job is, and there was a potential conflict of interest clause in the previous contract with Steve. Thanks.
Thank you. Yep, I have had the pleasure to work with Rachel on behalf of the Board of Education. Currently, she is committed and enjoys the work and sees the work as part of her own professional development. It allows us to stay on our game when we are teaching others and moving them forward. On our phone conversation, and as mentioned in email, she is happy to share her schedule. It is no more than 2 times a month, which is why I worded it on the average. Some months may be less than 2, but she said it's usually no more than 2 times a month. I think she probably does some kind of hybrid also in the evenings that might occur. But she is more than happy to share that schedule with you. That current commitment runs through April 2026. So she's with this current class of future superintendents. Some might even be current. Often you could get hired and then go to the superintendent's academy. So she also made mention that it would not preclude her from doing evening events. So if a class was to happen on a board night, she's coming to the board evening. She'll do her class during the day and be here at the evening, or any other evening events that may have or may take place on those days that she is working with her MASA future or current superintendents. She's flexible, very open to working with the board and providing you with any additional information that you may need or want. And I'm happy to speak to this in any way that you might have questions.
Brad?
I just have a quick comment. So first of all, I see two things here. I'm very much in support of this for two reasons. Number one, we talked about, like, in our interview, and there were questions that spoke to, like, visibility and representing the school district and those kinds of things. And I think by her doing this kind of work, it also looks favorably upon our superintendency. So I think that that's a positive thing, and for her to make those connections. We could have changes that happen in our leadership, and now she would have connections that she would be able to be able to leverage. So there's that. And then the second thing that is in here is she's willing to use her vacation and personal days to do this work. And so, like, I don't see a reason why I don't see a reason why I will not support this.
I don't think that any of the discussion was, just to say thank you, I don't think any of the discussion was not in support of that, but it was more of a, let's specify the time commitment a little bit, just so we're all sort of on the same page. So,
I'm fine with the 2 times a month.
good. Are you satisfied that you, oh, is there more?
So mine is more of a grammatical, but the BOE is approving the Dr. Kowalski. Should that be out of there?
It's going to happen from time to time. It's going to happen from time to time.
I have a few Scribner's errors. It's something, do we care to discuss, or do I just
If they're
say?
so small and slight, maybe you
they're-
can bring them up to Jason.
Okay.
Sorry. Maybe you can bring them up to Jason at Tizitas or Carol afterwards.
And then
You did have a concern about bolding as well, and I think that's, well,
I did, and then I do have just one, I think, clarification that would make me at least happy, for section 22, dispute resolution with the arbitration clause. And only because we have timelines in there, is it going to be business days or calendar days that we're asking for?
for example, the
So,
grievance may submit the
22.1.
grievance to the Secretary of the Board of Ed within
Then-
10 days.
Well, it said, yeah, within, the first one's 20 days, one is 10 days, one is 14, the 22.2 has 14 working days, but the other ones are missing it. So I just wanted to make sure that we clarified.
Okay,
And for clarification, none of that was changed. That's the same language. It was just cleaned up to have the enumeration. So
Okay.
I agree. 22.2 says working days, 22.1, 22.3 does not depict. So
Yes.
we could certainly
Yeah.
identify that.
I mean, if you look at section 23 with notice, I kind of assumed a 90-day notification was going to be flat out calendar days, but it was just the smaller, shorter time periods that I felt it was important to enumerate.
Do we want to make it working days then, or should we say,
I think it might actually follow state law. I
it
think
might-
it's going to
okay.
be prescriptive.
is
Might-
it,
would be my
is it,
guess.
is it in one, is it in 1229?
I don't know. Did this come up with the lawyer, Carol?
Any thoughts on this?
I would check with Tim to make sure it doesn't. He's gone through this a couple times now. It seems as though he might have flagged that, but I agree that it's a simple, I can get his recommendation on it and then follow up with you all in email and then make the adjustments if there are any adjustments. I'm happy to do that. And I agree, the 90-day longer, and someone that's worked several years with grievances, that short day, those 10 happen very quickly if they are calendar days, so.
Yeah, because if you look at section 8 with the evaluation, it says within 15 calendar days. So I just want it consistent.
I will check and get back with all of you.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree, Darcy. I think when you're in the middle of following up on something like this, it's very important to know exactly what it is.
Hearing no further discussion, I think I'd like to put this to a vote now. All in favor, please, of,
Oh, I had one other thing, Michael. In the first paragraph, we did want the Board of Education, I think that was the consensus, to have it up in the first paragraph because it's the first instance, even though the definition is down in 1.3, the very first paragraph on page 1. In the last line, it should say Saline Area Schools Board of Education, parentheses, BOE.
In the header of
Yeah.
the declarative.
Yeah.
so are you suggesting the line that has the two BOEs, one in brackets, should be taken out?
The very first one.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first instance.
Yeah,
that's
first
fine.
one should be
Again,
spelled out.
Scriveners, we can take care of that.
Yeah, and then I just, we used to have people when they came for open comment, and I think the city still does this, say their address for the record, and we moved away from that practice, and I don't think any of the other contracts that we reviewed for superintendents had the address, and she's selling her home right now, so I don't know if we
I'm fine with
necessarily
us
need
removing that whole reference too.
It's just a little personal out in the,
In fact, it was being discussed before we actually started this meeting. It actually came up and it was pointed out to Jason.
So what if we just put a period after and Dr. Rachel Kowalski, Dr. Kowalski, period?
Right, well, yeah. So hearing no further comment except for the occasional scrivener's error, which will be drawn. The minute we ink this and print it and put it in the online, someone's gonna find an error. That's just the way it goes, and it's fine. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposition? Well, hearing none, thank you. So at some point in the next 2 days, we will sign this contract with Dr. Kowalski, and apparently I have to sign it, and you do as well, Darcy?
Yep, so if I could get it cleaned up and get that final feedback on the grievance paragraph, I'd like to have it ready for the next board meeting, which is next Tuesday. Does that sound okay for everyone? And then she's in the district tomorrow. I probably won't have it turned around that quickly, but I'll work with her to get it signed as well.
I understand she'll also be here Thursday, so maybe that'll give you.
Perfect.
Good. Maybe
That'd be great, yeah.
if we
So
do some signatures, it won't be a big flourish in front of everybody, but we'll just do it.
that sounds great. I'll focus for this Thursday then.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect, okay.
Just for clarification, you're gonna have the attorney look at 22.
Correct.
Correct. And then
Correct.
I can turn around the rest of it this evening. and get it
Oh,
to you.
that'd be great. If you send it to me, and then I'll work with him, and then we'll get it ready for Thursday signatures.
As long as Secretary Burke can get me the changes that she saw. Okay,
Perfect.
yeah, I can get it to you tonight.
Okay.
hey Carol,
Thanks for the teamwork.
when you talk to him also, will you just see if we should accept the execution copy into consent agenda? I think we might have to. So then I can just roll on the next one.
Are you saying, let's put the copy in the consent agenda?
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
think that
That's
might
fine.
be good practice.
Probably not necessary since we're voting to approve it, but why not make everything as transparent? It's gonna be posted eventually anyway on the web page, but let's get it in the consent agenda. Next board meeting will be held on Tuesday, May 27th, 2025 at 6:30. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn this here meeting.
So move Berwick,
Berwick.
fastest meeting ever.
Support Tizities?
Today's, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you, 7-0. Prior to this, the fastest regular meeting has been